let's get more familiar with a keypad. This is just a hand-drawn, very basic idea of the keys on an alphanumeric keypad. Now, on the one in front of you, you might see that keys are positioned slightly differently. That's okay, that'll vary according to the model that you have, but just so long as you know what buttons to be hitting and the different features. So you can see up the top here, let's just start from the top. There's a couple of different functions here. Now this PRT SCR is just short for print screen. So quite often here with Evoke, you're going to have to print screen some shots and be able to insert it for part of your evidence. So to actually do a print screen, you would have to hold the function key, okay, which is just down here, and then hit print screen, okay, and that will capture whatever is there on your screen. Now beside the function button is a little Windows key, okay, and that icon might look slightly different with Windows 8, it's just a slightly different Windows looking key, but it'll basically still have the 4 little window panes there. So you would hit the Windows key on Windows 8 and that would actually take you back to all of your applications there. So I've just hit it again and returned back to where we were. Okay, we have an Alt button, we have a Control button. Now, let's just start with some basics first. If you want to make a capital letter, you'd hit this larger button, which is called the Shift key, and that would make your letters turn into capitals. So you would do that at the beginning of a sentence or for someone's name when you wanted one capital letter at the beginning of a word. However, if you wanted to make a big statement and make sure that all of the letters in the word were capitals, above that is what's called a caps lock. So that locks that function to create those capital letters. Okay, so that's your caps lock key. Above that you have a tab, and you can see some little arrows that'll indent it one way or the other. So that's especially, see here down the bottom where you have an indent here, perhaps that was tabbed across. That's just to give you a bit of an example there. Alright, so we have all of our numbers across the top here, 1 through to 0, but you also have some little symbols above that. Now in order to be able to access, for example, a percentage sign, if you just hit the number 5, you'd get a 5. But in order to get the percentage, you would hit the Shift key, and that would then create the percentage symbol above. Okay, so any of these little ones above, you would hit Shift and then the number key, which would create the symbol above it there. Okay, now say you make a mistake, you'd then click on the Backspace button. If you want to drop a line, so see for example the text down here, they then wanted to drop a line, so they would have hit the Enter key. That actually brings it down a line. Backspace is to go back and erase a mistake. Enter to drop it a line. You can see the Shift button here, that was occurring on both sides. Perhaps you were using one hand and it's just easier to hit the Shift key on that side. Let's come down here. These are your little cursor controls. So if you were typing on a document, you would see that flashing symbol. Let's just go back to show you. So you can see my cursor set up there in my module document. It's just a Word document. There's my cursor flashing. And if I was to hit those arrow keys, that would move it up. My cursor's moving down to where the next space is. It might be moving across to the right or across to the left.